Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Well, what do you say when you've already introduced yourself to the club 4 times, plus, and I have on my computer the speeches, every speech that I've given. I'm up to, like, I think speech number 79 or 78, I'm not sure which. But that's only a shadow of what Ken has done. So I'm not going to take anything for myself in that regard. This time, I would like to, and I shall, introduce myself on 2 tracks. First, through my father, and second, through my profession. And they both are related. Of course, we are all products of our parents in many ways, and for me, I am certainly a product of both of my parents. As far as my father goes, let me scroll back to my high school days when I was in a class that had a Toastmaster, had speakers, evaluators, and table topic speakers. It was my high school speech class. So this was not a new experience for me when I joined 10 years ago. My teacher was my father. He had joined Toastmasters himself when I was a young boy, 6, 7 years old, in 1957. And he was so enthused about Toastmasters that when he retired from the Marines some 10 years later, he decided to become a high school speech teacher. He adopted the Toastmaster program to his speech class, and interestingly, when he first started teaching in high school was the same year I started high school as a freshman. I wouldn't consider taking a class from my own father, though, until my junior year, and I took speech my junior and senior year. I joined the debate team and did all of those things, but after I finished high school, I kind of let public speaking go, and I pretty much lost my ability to speak effectively or clearly in public until I decided I've lost something here, I better join Toastmasters, and I came into the club in March of 2003 and joined. But it all started with my father. Another thing my father taught me, or I picked up from my father, was my love of woodworking. One of my earliest memories, very fond early memory in my childhood, was going into the family garage and seeing him work on cutting out pieces of wood, modifying a simple cabinet to house our little black and white television set. Instead of the black and white TV set sitting in the plastic box on top of a counter someplace, he built a cabinet to put the television set in. He even fit our radio in there too, and this is what was known back in the day, what is now known as an entertainment center. Back in those days, there was no such thing as an entertainment center. It was simply a cabinet that held the TV and the radio. And actually, it also had our record player in there too. And my mother, having been raised by a classical musician, would always play classical music on the record player. And I picked up my love of classical music from my mother. But that's another story. I loved the experience of seeing my dad create things out of wood. He also built a couple bookcases for our home, but it was just a hobby for him. It was not his real focus. He was a career Marine, having gone through World War II and years after that until he retired the same year I started high school. Well, my love of woodworking, because of my father, translated through my college years till the time I graduated from college in anthropology. My first job that I got after graduating from Sonoma State was to pick wine grapes. And I just didn't have a way of applying anthropology to a way of making money. But I realized I did end up working as a waiter in a restaurant and a couple other things. I realized I didn't like working for other people, so I decided, well, let's see if I can try making money at my hobby, which was making things in the garage out of wood. I made a wood burl table, redwood burl table. The consignment store was not interested in that. They had plenty of wood burl tables there already. But I made little wooden toys with wheels on them, cars, boats, rocking horses, which, by the way, were first tested out by my young sons at the time, and they took off. So I started making wooden toys, not working for myself as a wooden toy maker. Well, it was hard to make a living doing that, so I graduated to custom cabinets. My sons, as they got older, worked with me, and to make a long story short, my business, my woodworking business, my sons became my business partners in my business, and this is a recent magazine, trade magazine, with showcasing the family business of my sons and myself. So, as a just to express who I am from two sides, from my father in Toastmasters and my father as a woodworker, has helped go to make me the person I am today.